feel like I'm in a different time zone. No, you're in the Philippines. It's 12:07 in the clock, people. Good morning, Metro Manila. And of course, if you're a fan of this fandom, you should know by now what I'm gonna be talking about. And actually, I mentioned it yesterday at Because Filipinas with Miss Kooky Tuason. I'll be talking about Battlestar Galactica. It doesn't matter if you were born in the earlier era, 70s. This was aired in the 70s, and then there was a remake in the 2000s. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about almost all, not all, because we're just 60 minutes. We'll try to talk about everything. So guys, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for us, 60 minutes of pop fiction. And of course, our text line 0915-349-0883. Now, apparently, I am very surprised that my co-host is actually a fan of Battlestar Galactica. She doesn't look like it. I never knew she had a fandom. But I'm so excited, so happy. Welcome to the show, Legaspi.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
All right. I'm so excited.
Me too. And a bit nervous, actually.
I know you were nervous because you posted on my IG account. By the way, my IG account, guys, Marty.Tengco. And you told me that you were so nervous.
Yeah, because I know that some of the people in the fandom can be very
critical. Really?
About how
details
they love or hate the series. So, but I'm just really I just love it. I love it. So I don't know if I'm gonna talk about the right things,
but we'll just talk about what made you fall in love with the fandom, which I'm sure it's showing because you're like, I am so
I'm
excited.
I'm really excited.
Right. So guys, please message us. Again, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for us, 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 80.3. And our text line again, 0915-349-0883. I have a few questions for live. So, because of course, since it's it's old and semi-old.
Yeah.
So even the remake is already a bit old.
Yes, it's 10 years old this year.
Yes. Plus the fact that it was in the 70s, so it's still a bit older.
One
yes, the first
was
one.
in the 70s. Yeah.
But let's not go there. We'll ask you first, Lai. What was your experience, or when did you first encounter Battlestar Galactica?
Okay, I have two stories about this. Okay?
All right.
So I found out about Battlestar Galactica in Universal Studios Singapore. But
no!
I didn't know what it was about.
Okay.
I just love roller coasters. And then there was a Human versus Cylon ride.
Yes.
And I didn't understand the context, but because I love roller coasters,
yes.
we rode it. And then, Battlestar Galactica, whatever that meant. But it's just always been at the back of my head. And then, that was back in 2012.
Okay.
Fast forward 2 years later, there's this actress. Her name is Mary McDonnell.
Okay.
I don't remember how I encountered her, but I got curious about her. And I wanted to find out, what other shows did she appear on? And it seemed like one of her more critically acclaimed shows is Battlestar Galactica as President Roslin.
Okay.
So that's when I started diving in the fandom, and it was like a rabbit hole.
Right.
Since then. And only up until the second season, because I'm very bent on supporting the DVD versions. I want to buy the actual DVD.
Oh, you're the very legal.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I sounded wrong though. What I meant to say is that she wants to acquire things the proper way.
Yes. I really want to support the series and the fandom. So I wanted to buy the legal version of it. But so that's how I discovered about Battlestar Galactica. And she's my favorite character. Rosalind's my favorite character.
So we're talking about the newer series.
Okay, yes. And I've never seen the 70s version.
The 1978.
Yeah. I just hear a lot of things about it because a lot of the fans of the reimagined series are feminists. And, they don't like the 70s version because it's all male.
Right, yes.
Right. So all of these issues, I didn't really care about that. I just love Battlestar, and I love Laura Roslin, so that's why I stuck with it.
All right. So, what hooked you with Battlestar Galactica? So I know you mentioned that this particular actress was the ultimate first step, but after that, what was the first episode you watched? Is it the very first?
The very first episode that I saw included the
not the miniseries.
It's the miniseries. That's where it started.
Okay.
It's actually the first one that I saw, where Laura Roslin swore was sworn into oath. She was de facto president. Okay, I'm gonna get nerdy into this part.
Yes, please do so.
She was sworn into the role, and that's when I said, "Oh, there's a female lead. It's a female lead. It's not a
Right,
male
sure.
lead."
Uh-huh.
And I was led into thinking, "Oh man, it's gonna be another dude again because of Adama, the captain of the fleet, the commander of the fleet." But anyway, long story short, after that, what made me stick with it was how human all the characters are. It's like everybody's anti-hero. It starts like everybody is very idealistic. I want to be able to do something.
Right,
but,
right.
eventually the corruption of
Set
humanity
in.
comes in and they're doing something that's, oh my God, you're my favorite character. Why are you doing this? And then at the end of every episode, there's no real redemption, but because you love them, you forgive them.
Oh,
so
you're that type of fan.
You're invested in them and like, okay, I want to see this to the end and I want the President Roslyn to redeem herself at some part of the series. At least in the second season, she hasn't redeemed herself to me. But I still, but she's the hook, and all the other characters are very human. It's not too fantastical.
No, not superhero thing.
Yes.
Okay. So do you feel, because some people into fandoms feel betrayed when their
Right.
favorite character is like, what are you doing? Do you feel that?
Not at all. I mean, there's disappointment, like if you really see them as a hero, if you start to look at them as heroes. But I guess this is where the media training comes in, where you realize, oh wait, this is what the writers are really trying to do. They want you to look at them as humans, that they're imperfect, that they're bound to make mistakes, they're gonna make tough calls, and you're not gonna like it. And I just kind of resolved eventually that, okay, I'm gonna see more of this.
How long did it take for you to resolve the issue?
Like after she, oh my gosh, I'm gonna spoil. She made a really tough call in
Same season 1 still.
I'm not clear anymore. I'm not sure. But it had to do with leaving behind a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
And it was so painful.
Did you cry?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But I realized, she was President Roslyn was putting a tough face
right
in the episode, but at the end of that episode,
she breaks down.
And then she shows her regret that she said something to the line of, "I will forever carry the regret."
Oh, damn. It's so human.
Yes.
Right?
That's why.
Okay. Now I'm curious though. Have you always been a sci-fi fan? It's not gonna be called a spoiler. It's been shown ages ago,
I know.
guys. Please watch it.
And
I'm just
maybe
kidding.
the BSG fans have seen Star Wars also.
Yeah.
They might know more than me, but they're understanding that. I think I'm more open now.
Okay, so for those who are not familiar, or at least since you know the newer story, could you kindly tell us, for those who are not familiar, what is Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined 2004?
Okay, so they're called the 12 tribes of Kobol. They're humans, and they're just existing normally. They created a semi-human, semi-robot creation. What they didn't think those creations would do is to try to annihilate them and take over.
Oh, yeah.
So
experiment gone wrong.
yes. So like what's happening
right
nowadays. The artificial intelligence. So they're pretty much like that. So if you watch the first episode of Battlestar Galactica, the opening credits would say that the Cylons have a plan. And the plan, though it never really says outright, in the series, the plan is to make the human race go extinct.
Oh,
So the first episode unfolds into the Cylons attacking the 12 planets, the 12 tribes of Kobol, and the only survivor left are those on the colonial fleet. Meaning they're not on ground, they're not in the planets. And they're protected by the only Battlestar ship, which is Battlestar Galactica. And
hence
then
the name.
Yes. And there the adventure ensues, because the next things that happen is, how do we preserve this 50,000 something what's left of the human race, which is 50,000, and they will always it's so the story is a chase between the Cylons. So they're the semi-human, the cyborgs, and the human race, and also the challenge of surviving in outer space because you don't have natural resources.
That's true.
And the mortality rate will always be there. So how are you gonna preserve this 50,000 people? That's what the theme explores, and the pursuit of finding Earth. But in Battlestar Galactica, Earth is a mythical planet. They don't know if it really exists or not. Because based on their scripture, or what they call their scripture, there's a 13th tribe. But it's a mythical tribe. And they're forced to trust the scriptures to find
Blind
this.
faith. Oh my goodness, that's the scariest part in the whole of human race.
It's also very real because
It is too very
right?
real.
The religion,
Yes.
and do you really trust it or not, and all of that. And they also explore that theme, like how much of this are you gonna trust?
Right.
So it's a lot of real life
Yeah.
situations
It
explored in the context of post-apocalypse.
is. Right, except they're in space.
And they're in space. Add that drama.
Did you ever, like when you're watching it, did you feel like, what if that's gonna happen to me? What if I'm in that ship? Will I even know how to survive or how to respond properly or save my people or something?
The thing is, I don't know if this is what people call a survivalist. I'm always thinking about, what if the world ends today? What am I gonna do next?
Now I know why Kooky asked you. Kooky's that type too. What if the world ends today?
Yeah. And I'm always in that mindset, and how am I gonna tackle
Right.
today if the world ends today? I've thought about that. What if I was Roslyn?
Oh,
What if I was President
Yeah.
Roslyn
Yeah.
that day, and she was a school teacher? She didn't really expect to become the president that day. She was on board Galactica because she was forced by the then president Adar to be his representative, and then only later on for the Cylons to attack and then annihilate the rest of the human race. And if you watch that episode, the very first episode of the miniseries, when she took her oath, her hand was shaking.
Of course.
And her voice was cracking. I love Mary McDonnell. She acted out the part so well. But I felt like, man, I probably would like
Break down.
and I wouldn't accept the role. Like, Commander Adama, take it away, lead the fleet. But here's a woman who's dying of, okay, I'm gonna spoil, who's dying of breast cancer.
Oh, no way.
Like, the world is crashing down on her, and she has to lead 50,000 people to safety.
What? Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it's such a complex,
Yeah.
Your self-preservation versus the survival of the human race, right?
Right. So what was your feeling?
I
Aside from thinking that you won't take the oath.
felt very empathic of her, but at the same time, like, I wish I have that kind of leadership, you
Yeah.
know, that you just brave through the personal conflict and then deal with it at the end of the day. But in reality, that's not gonna happen. You know, the real life conflicts will get to you when you're at work. But I don't think it's healthy, but she was able to navigate through that. Like, she separated her real life
Right.
versus her leadership.
Okay.
I empathize with her, but I don't think she did the right thing there.
Oh, look at that face. The face of someone who's not really happy with how the show did it. But I definitely have more questions for Lai. You're still here listening to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 8.3. We'll be playing some music, so stick around.
some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine, flymen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth.
Protect the world from devastation to unite all people within our nation. Leandro Reyes. Tune in to 60 minutes of pop fiction with Marty Tengco on Jam 88.3.
Keep
was Valediction by Lords of Kobol. So you know they're fans
Yes.
of. You're super fans of Battlestar Galactica. And prior to that, I played All Along the Watchtower, which was originally by Bob Dylan and adapted by the composer Bear McCreary. If you notice, I'll be mentioning Bear McCreary all the time. He's the composer for the TV series, the reimagined TV series. So that's the 2004 onwards. He was just the face, behind the music of Battlestar Galactica, the newer ones. Because obviously with the older versions, it's just instrumental. And it, of course, helped the era of the 70s up to the 80s for you to feel the sci-fi vibe of Battlestar Galactica. But for this one, it was very modern with a lot of themes.
Orchestra.
And if you've seen live, if you're watching Facebook Live right now, you would see live, like, I love it.
I love it. It sounds like Battlestar Galactica. And then she says, oh, yes, it's from Battlestar Galactica.
It is. It's from, so, yes, that was All Along the Watchtower. Welcome back to the show, 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction here on Jam 8.3, your new music alternative. We're talking about Battlestar Galactica, and you're still here with me, Marty, Tengco, and
Legaspi.
yes, and we're geeking out. Li's like, maybe I should not geek out much. No, girl. Just give all the details and the juiciness. But before we go, we will have to say hi to a lot of people. I'd like to say hi to Napoleon Gancayco. He said, good morning, DJ Marty. Haha, ilang linggo din naka-tune in ha. Nagkasakit kasi bawal magpuyat. Missed the show though. I hope you're well and you're already getting better, Napoleon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you're getting well really, really soon. AMR, hi, good morning. Can you please play Blitzkrieg BOP? Thanks in advance. Well, I think they did not perform for Battlestar Galactica. Maybe next time, if the song that you're requesting for is in a fandom, I'll definitely play it. And then Lawrence Re Passion Zark. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Napoleon Gancayco said, I think we can say that Galactica is a continuation of 2012 or Interstellar.
I'm not sure.
Not really?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's part of any bigger universe. Like, I don't think it's like MCU or DC that it's continuing from something.
You gotta make it.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think some fans would like to make what
like
you call
connect
it?
everything,
Crossovers.
right? Like it's a bigger universe, right?
It's like when I will not forget this when they said the Titanic and the Great Gatsby
happened at the same time.
is interconnected.
Well, that makes sense.
It's weird though. As like when they said it, are you for real? It doesn't make sense for me, but for a lot of fans of Leonardo DiCaprio, it makes sense for them. Like, okay,
Yeah.
You go. But yeah, so maybe they want. I don't know.
Maybe it's canon.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's see. We'll wait a few more minutes, a few more years or months. Maybe we should.
Maybe
message
there will be a
them.
connection.
Maybe we should message.
I will tell Ron Moore. No.
Wow. Super close. But we'll wait. I'm actually gonna dare lie to message the creator.
Why not? In the age of social media,
Yes.
you don't know if they're gonna pay attention to what you said, right?
I'm gonna wait for you to message the creator.
I'll let you know if I'm able to do it.
And if he's able to say, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like make a connection, make
Yes.
it tangible, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before you know it, whoa, a bigger universe.
I'm taking on this challenge.
Yes, definitely. And then Krindal Garcia, one of my fave too. Thank you so much that it's also your favorite. Is she your friend?
She's from the Bella tribe. So
Oh!
hello. Thanks
Hello,
for joining.
Bellas. If there are Bellas listening, hello, Bellas. By the way, because Lai is from...
From Belle de Jour Power Planners.
Yes, and therefore, the members are called Bellas.
Hello.
And hello to all the Bellas who are listening. Thank you so much for that. Gail Christian D, who's been telling me since last week that Battlestar Galactica is his favorite. My colleague, former colleague at work. Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. I wonder, and I'm still amazed how you're able to escape from your children. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Chris Go, hi, thank you so much for being awake and for tuning in. Sarah Cuadro, Tito Nani, hi, thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Las Vegas. And Napoleon Gancayco, haha, yeah, but still like to think that after 2012 or Interstellar, there is Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I support your canon.
yeah. We'll definitely, Napoleon, you could also do it.
Yeah,
I'll wait for you and Lai to message the creator of the newer Battlestar Galactica, and then we'll see.
Let's hound on Ron Moore.
Yes. And we'll see if maybe something's gonna pop up and,
Make something happen.
Yes, make something happen. Again, guys, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for us. 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction. And of course, our text line, Lalas. I was going to say +63, which makes sense. +63 915 349 0883. Please tell us your thoughts about Battlestar Galactica. And whatever, is it your favorite TV series? No, you have questions? Let us know, because Lai here knows something about Battlestar Galactica.
A little
she
bit.
geeked about it on the newer versions, or the remanded version for season 1 and season 2.
Season 2, some
Yes.
of it, yeah.
And if you guys have finished, let us know.
Please.
I don't think Lai is particular with spoilers.
No.
See,
I'm
she's
not,
like me,
yeah.
guys. Napoleon, I told you, remember? Spoilers is for everybody.
It's like dessert before the main
Yes.
course, right? I love
or,
it. I love it.
appetizer.
Yes.
Yes. Hors d'oeuvres.
I don't mind it.
Yes,
Yes.
hors d'oeuvres.
I can
yes.
have hors d'oeuvres
Yes.
the whole time. Like, it's the only meal that I'll have. I don't mind spoilers all the time.
one. And not a plate. It's not even a saucer. It's a baul.
Yes.
Of hors d'oeuvres. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I don't mean to make anybody uncomfortable with the idea. I really, you know what? Kooky, I remember Kooky when Avengers was out, the newer one, the most Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
And people were telling me, please, Marty, don't say
spoil.
anything.
Okay.
I respect that.
Okay.
I'm nice.
If people make requests.
Yes,
right?
if people make requests. But if, for example, they say, oh, it's okay, then it's okay. So we're gonna go back to Battlestar Galactica and Lai here. No, she's not gonna spoil, but I have some more questions for her.
Game.
Okay, game. All right. So, of all the characters, aside from President Rosin, who else is a character that stands out the most to you?
There
It doesn't have to be protagonist or antagonist.
Right.
Everybody.
I really love the character of love-hate. I love-hate the character of Lee Adama.
Okay, who is...
He's the idealistic young new captain that was promoted, and in the series he's living under the shadow of his dad. You remember I mentioned earlier
yes.
that Commander Adama was
Unfortunately,
leading the
yes,
fleet,
yes.
so he's like living under the shadow of his
Yes.
dad. I like the energy of the rebellion. Like, I really want to make my own mark. I resonate to that. Like,
Okay.
I want to make my
Yes.
own mark. But at the same time, in the process of the series, his idealism gets broken down. He gets beaten down in the process, which is what
okay.
everybody goes through.
Yes, that's right.
When
Tougher
rubber meets the road,
times.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that. That also is realistic of him. Like, you'd think at the start he's one of the heroes.
Right.
And then he goes against one of the main characters, but he's still a hero. So, and you realize there's no one hero in this story because it's a
Right.
story of humanity.
Right, and there are heroic moments.
Yes, and then there's also the moral challenges.
Yes.
They all go through it.
Yes.
And I like how he was just vulnerable through the entire process.
Right, yes.
And I love that. Yeah. But I also don't know how his character ends. I kind of have an idea, but not really, since I have only seen until season 2 and some videos on YouTube. But overall, I like what I've seen with his
Okay.
character.
So what about Battlestar Galactica that you are really looking for? Is it the music? Is it the scenes? Is it maybe some actors or the characters? Or what are you looking for in Battlestar Galactica?
It's really a
Or
bit...
the plot, obviously. Well,
It's a bit of everything, you
Okay.
know. I think what makes it so iconic for that generation.
Wow.
I was
Aray.
2004. I was 14 years old. Okay.
Oh my goodness, for real? Okay.
I only started seeing Battlestar Galactica in 2014 when
Okay.
I was 24 years old.
Okay.
But during their time, it was way ahead of its time.
Yes.
And it really only became popular among I don't know if you would say pop culture, but it really only became popular in the 2010 and
Right.
later.
Okay.
Because it was ahead of its time. Even up until today, I feel like it's a bit it's not everybody's cup of tea.
All right.
Because there's politics. They talk about politics in it.
Uh-huh.
It's not exactly
kid friendly.
feel good.
Oh,
it's not
that's
a feel good
Well, it's not a
show.
chick flick.
No, it's not a no.
It's
If you-
really sci-fi. Actually, a lot of sci-fis are a mix of that.
right.
Yeah.
They call themselves space opera. I don't know if Star
sense.
Wars would qualify as a space opera.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely sci-fi, but not space opera. Okay.
So they categorize themselves under space opera. And I love the music, like Bear
Yes.
McCreary.
I just played some.
It's mixing orchestra
Yes.
with rock and metal, and I don't know how he does it. And he uses the right genre for the right moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the chase of the Vipers and the Raiders with
Oh,
the
who are
choice.
those?
Vipers are the human aircrafts.
Okay.
Raiders are the Cylon aircrafts. And
okay.
even that in itself, the Raider aircrafts are alive.
That is so weird.
There's no pilot inside. Okay, that's one of the
Autopilot?
things that makes me geek out.
No way. It has a mind of its own.
Yes,
Like
it's alive.
like it's those cars that are now being made now. That
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like the Tesla of its time.
Now I'm scared. Now you know what? Prior to this conversation, I was waiting for the moment to get a no driver needed Tesla car. Now I don't
There you
think
go.
so. Now I'm scared. Okay, go.
But even then, the way Beer would design the music, it's so fitting. My favorite romance song is actually Roslyn and Adama, which is by Bear McCreary. And it feels a lot like Sun and Moon of Miss
Miss Saigon.
Saigon. So, okay,
My
Marty's
goodness.
gonna look it up.
My goodness, Miss Saigon, really?
Yeah. So, but even that has its own space. It has a space in my heart. I also love how it explores moral issues and religious
yes.
issues. So it's not just politics or moral issues. Like there was one topic there. I hope this isn't going too far for some of the viewers, but there was a topic there that talked about abortion. Like,
Right.
will President Roslyn allow abortion
Ah,
in the fleet
right.
when their number is dwindling from
Right.
50,000? They're slowly
Losing numbers.
losing numbers because there's mortality even inside the fleet. So those topics, and is it ethical to use prisoners to gather water because there's
Right.
no natural resource, so they'd have to land to a certain planet or
Right.
a moving, I don't know, interstellar body. And will it be ethical to use the prisoners and at the stake of their lives
Right,
because
right.
they're prisoners, you know?
Right.
So all of this, and I'm like, oh my God, if I'm in that position, I don't know what to do. But she was making all of these tough calls. And even her rigging the elections. She wanted to rig the elections because she didn't want Baltar, the scientist, to become the president. Because she firmly believed that he was working with the Cylons.
Right.
Which is actually, she was right, but she didn't have any proof because she was just seeing visions and she wasn't sure if it was the medicine, if it was the deloxin or
Why was she taking medicine?
because of her breast cancer.
Oh,
Remember, she was dying.
right.
She's dying.
Yes.
She was dying of breast cancer, and I'm a Christian, so seeing all the parallels with the Bible, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, they're making her to be the Moses
Yes.
in this story.
And
like,
Moses also failed.
yes,
In real.
he didn't make. So Laura, okay, spoilers, didn't make it to the end. Like she
Right.
was right at the brink of entering the promised land or the earth, but she didn't make it. She died right before entering. And
So Moses.
Moses, exactly. And supposedly Kara Starbuck is the Joshua because she was the one that really brings the people to earth. And then the 12 tribes, actually 13 tribes, is also the 13 tribes of Israel,
Right.
which is also biblical. It's also in the
Yes.
Bible. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
All
is.
of these things. They're
Yeah.
like, so, and then when I Googled more, I discovered that,
There.
okay, they really did write it to
It was intentional. It was
Yes.
a paper in 1978 that it's by a Mormon.
Right.
Oh, what do you call this? But basically, the creators were both Mormon and Latter-day Saints members.
Yes.
That's the reason why it's fantastic that religion was incorporated in sci-fi or space opera, and it's interesting. It does not just stick to boring religion, big
Yes.
book. I Sunday school. It's not just that.
It's not like that.
No, it's not. But even Kobol is actually what's this? It's actually a mix of Kolob, I think, which
Yes.
is a promised land of sorts. I think, right
Yes.
in Mormon lessons. I am not sure, guys. Please do not quote me. I am not Mormon, but something like that. That's the reason why it's just you change it. It's Kobol, and that's what's used in Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
And it's fun. It's interesting.
It is.
And it's like, you could feel that as you were saying. You're empathic. You were like, oh, it hurts, and you were furious, frustrated.
Internalizing their characters.
Yeah.
They were real. They were made to be real. They're not made to be idols or heroes.
What is your favorite scene?
Ah.
Like something that, if this is super old school like beta or VHS, you just have to rewind and rewind
Keep
until your
watching it.
tape is broken. If it's DVD, you'll rewind and rewind until your CD is broken. So what is this episode or scene that is your favorite?
It's so long. The episode
Okay.
ran for so long. And it's the mini series because it's the one that really hooked me
Okay.
to the whole thing. When when Roslyn reveals that she has cancer, she tells Captain Apollo, Lee Adama, that she has cancer, she's dying, and she was just talking about they were waiting for the result if everybody else is dead, and is she going to be the next person to take the position. And then when they give to her the paper, you see the dread on her face, without any words. She doesn't say anything, but you see that I'm really scared to
Take
do
this paper.
this.
Yeah.
And then she stands before the priest. She said, okay, we need a priest. She was still trying to put herself together.
Right,
okay,
right.
We need to get a priest. And then she raises before the priest, she raises her hands, and her hand was shaking. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how Mary McDonald does it, but she raises her hands, it's shaking. Her voice is cracking, and she was echoing what the priest was saying. And then it ends in an awkward silence.
Why?
Because, okay, what next?
Oh.
So what now? And then immediately follows the Cylons appear and wanting to chase them down again.
What do you think is the counterpart of silence in the Bible? It can't be Palestinians.
No, I've researched about this. The writers didn't really say that they represented anything.
Maybe it's just trials or something. Maybe.
No, but based on what I would hear from the characters of the Cylons, they think they're the angels.
For real?
Because they're the ones that are monotheistic. They're the ones that believe in one God.
Right.
The humans believe in 12 lords, the 12 lords of Kobol. So from each tribe, there's one God
Right,
representing each tribe. So there's also the contention between which religion is superior, which happens
right.
in real life. So
that is true.
so that's why you don't really think one is better than the other. You just
Yeah.
start thinking they're both fighting for something.
And they feel that they're correct, and they'll
Right.
just stand firm by, yeah, I'm correct, you're correct, we'll fight.
Yes. So in real life, that's what it looks like, and you
Yeah.
can't really. Didn't really feel an arrogance of, no, the 12 tribes
Is
are correct, or the Cylons are right,
right.
because they both, and the way it was written by Ron Moore, they both have,
A point.
and they both hear from something or from someone,
Ah.
which I think subliminally it might be saying we're all believing one religion anyway, or we're
Right.
believing one God anyway. There. So it's just that I cannot find any arrogance in saying your faith is wrong.
Right,
And
right.
mine is right.
Do you think it also represents how bad when people fight because of religion?
There were write-ups about how, because this was fresh after the 9/11 when this started airing.
Right.
And we know what happened in the 9/11. And people thought that Ron Moore and the other writers were intentionally writing the Cylons as
Right.
the terrorists. But they denied that.
They denied it.
They
okay.
didn't say that represented anything. They really just wanted to show that this is how people behave. That when you feel strongly about your faith,
You'd fight for it.
you'd fight for it, but sometimes beyond compassion, instead of understanding where the other person's coming from, you resort to conflict. And
Yeah.
I would think that the Cylons are like Thanos.
Okay.
Because they wanted to eradicate the evil of the human race.
Right.
And that's what they were trying to do. They want to
yes.
get rid of the human race because they're pagans.
Yes.
They don't believe in one God. They're
Right.
against our faith.
They're
all of that.
Basically a pest in the current situation.
So let's take them all out. It's like
Right.
Noah's Ark.
And you actually don't know who's right and wrong.
Yes.
Because they have a point.
Yes.
All right, we are so intense that we forgot to play some music, so we'll definitely play some more music. You're still listening to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction here on Jam 8.3, your new music alternative.
seguida. This is Ralph Fonte and you're listening to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction with Marty Tengco on Jam 88.3. Sakojo.
Sadness, and I felt it.
Yes, me too.
Yep, I felt it. It felt so like, I don't know,
hopeless.
Hopeless. And sadness is just an understatement. And that was sung by Raya Yarbrough. I hope I said her name right. And it was for season 3 of Battlestar Galactica, the newer version. And prior to that, I played The Cult of Baltar, again sung by Raya Yarbrough, and that's for season 4. Of course, both are composed by Bear McCreary. Welcome back to the show, people. 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 88.3, your new music alternative. This show is about fandoms and geek stuff. 102 in the clock. Good morning, Metro Manila, and everybody in the same time zone. Everyone else who's listening, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're still here with me, Marty Tengco, and
Legaspi.
And we're still geeking out and, talking about, how is this possible? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're still talking about Battlestar Galactica, and I'm still convincing her to find ways to watch the show, but still get her stuff legally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, she's convinced.
I really need to see the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. But again, guys, just like all my other co-hosts in the show, everybody's saying that you want to buy the legal things, the real deals, by supporting the merch of each fandom. That's great. But, while you're still waiting for your orders or looking for stocks or whatnot, you could find other alternatives. Yes. But still support them when it's available and when you can, financially can. And
yes.
Guys, you're not sinning.
Yeah.
Promise. It's okay. I've been there. That's what I was telling Lai the whole time. Again, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for us, 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 80.3, and our text line 0915-349-0883. We'll be saying hello to some people. Napoleon Gadkaiko said earlier, DJ Marty is the go-to person when it comes to spoilers. Haha. No. No, I'm just kidding. Well, before watching the show, you should know what is to be served to you. Yep. By the way, happy anniversary to the show. Sayang, I missed the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, nga! That was like episode 52, which was my quiz night. You guys can actually still watch it. Just look for, of course, Jam 80.3 if you're following. You should follow Jam 80.3, our Facebook page. And follow my page, Marty Tengco, and look for 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction, quiz night, episode 52. And Gail Christian, he said, Star Wars is space opera. Okay, so
Noted.
Okay. And he also said it's basically any story set in space, love story, politics, spycraft, etc., without the scientific mumbo jumbo. Oh, makes sense.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Carlo Rosaka, stop calling me corn dog, man. It was still college. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, thank you so much. Carlo, he was my schoolmate years ago, and he was a guitar major. I was an education major. And yeah, and now he's a pastor. I can't believe it.
Wow! And he said I should start watching Battlestar Galactica.
You should, man.
You know,
seriously.
I met someone from church.
Yeah.
Their pastor and a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
Who followed this show up to the very
up
end.
To the end, which is season
4 and a half.
Yeah,
Until
and
season
there's
4.
Razor, and like in between season 1, 2, and 3, there's
They were
Razor.
yes.
And then 4, and then 2 more. The plan, I think, and then there's Blood and
Chrome.
Yeah, Blood and
Yes.
Chrome. That was the last season.
Yeah, and it wasn't received well by the fandom.
But Apocalypse, the first song I played here,
is from Blood and Chrome.
Blood and Chrome. I mean, it's actually a recurring theme. If you listen to from the very first season or any from season 1 of Battlestar Galactica and some of the because that's where Bear McCreary was.
Yeah.
That song was all over, but it's in different versions.
Yeah.
So I played a version that's I think a season 3 and a Blood and Chrome version.
I love him.
I love his compositions. Yes.
He also did The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about
Yeah.
off air, and but still, I'm not watching The Walking Dead. Sorry, I agree.
It's okay.
I agree with my co-host for Into the Badlands and Ninja's Evangelion Dom Galeone said no more Walking Dead. I agree. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Kooky loves Walking Dead. I don't. So
I kind of gave up on it on season 2. After season 2, it was downhill. For me.
For you.
Personal.
But for those who are fond of the zombie genre, guys, don't let us stop you. You know,
Yeah.
Walking Dead is part of the zombie genre.
Yes.
Which, of course, I discussed last time or talked about last time with a Patawaran, the zombie apocalypse episode. I don't remember the number. Sorry. La, you have people to greet?
Yes, I have friends who are watching right now. I want to say hello to Rain. She's my colleague. Hi, Rain.
Hi, thank you so much for tuning in.
And Ren, she was a former workmate. I think she might have chanced upon the live on my Facebook page.
Hi, thank you so
Hi,
much for
Ren.
tuning in, ladies.
And my mom.
Your mom. I met her mom at a Bella event. Right?
Yes, and she was saying, Ate, she looks familiar. And then I said, of course, you met her in the BDJ event. Oh, that's
Hi,
right.
Mommy.
Oh, hi, Jervin. I also have another former classmate saying hello. Hi, Jervin.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and geeking out with us.
Yes.
Again, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for us, 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction. Our text line 0915-349-0883. And for the younger ones who have never touched a radio in their lifetime, no, I'm just kidding. Because we were teasing each other, me and Lai, like, they don't know a radio. Are you kidding? That's so easy. Okay, so if you have a car, definitely there's a radio.
Yes.
But if you don't have a car, you have a phone and there's an FM app there. Just look for the dial 88.3. Okay. I don't mean to be rude. I love you all. Okay. So I have some more geek stuff to ask Lai.
Oh my gosh, and I don't think we're done yet. We said 60 minutes.
It's 108. Good morning, Metro Manila. Okay, Lai. Of everything that you've seen, so I know you've seen season 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
What were scenes or maybe characters you felt like they shouldn't have made that, or that episode should have not existed, or maybe the character doesn't help the story?
There's one character that I wish they didn't kill off. That's something I can answer right away. I don't know
About the episodes.
Yes.
But the character.
I don't know if there's anyone I would take away from
But
I've seen so far.
Who was killed that you wish?
They didn't kill off. Bill, the assistant of Roslyn in the first season of Battlestar Galactica. His name is Billy. I forget what his last name is. I felt like he was such a he was the innocent, fresh graduate character, and he was growing in the world of post-apocalypse, and he was figuring out things, and he would have been the next generation of what would the world be like if he survives it. And there were also theories that he was a sleeper Cylon, meaning he didn't know he's a Cylon, but he's gonna wake up at some part of the whole story, which you will discover there are a lot of them in the whole series. But for him, I just really wanted to see what would the world be like for somebody who grew up in the leadership of survival.
Right, yeah. Now, I'm curious. So, you mentioned the term sleeper Cylon.
Yes.
Are you saying that all of the humans had Cylon DNA or something?
No. There are Cylons that are disguised, that didn't know that they're Cylons until something triggers in them, and they wake up and realize, oh, this is my calling. I'm a Cylon.
So basically, a half human, half cyborg of sorts.
Yes.
How is it even possible? It's as weird as Westworld.
Yes. Which, by the way, I'm also like a huge fan of. I haven't finished the whole thing
You
yet.
said you're not into sci-fi.
No, but I didn't really think, I didn't think of it as sci-fi.
Fine, okay.
Until somebody explained to me, oh, that's sci-fi. Oh.
The face, It's, now I see a trend of your favorites. No, good and bad.
Yeah.
Because even in Westworld, it's the same thing.
They're all humans.
Yeah, they're all humans. And there's even some of the characters you thought were human were actually, creations.
They're machines.
They're machines. So
they act like humans.
Yeah, especially in Westworld, it's really crazy.
Yes.
Because
I love that when you discover that, oh my God, they're not human beings, and they're formatted to do the same thing again and again.
Yeah. So same for the Cylons.
Right. And they wake up. I remember at one point in Westworld, they wake up, right? And they realize that
the awareness
they're not human.
Yes.
So in Battlestar Galactica, they realize they're not human. They're Cylons.
What are the triggers?
There are two specific incidents where they were triggered. So one of the characters, her name is Sharon. Boomer is her call name as a Viper pilot.
Okay.
She all of a sudden pointed a gun at Commander Adama and shot him, and that was the trigger. And now she knows that she's a Cylon.
What triggered her to just pick up a gun and shoot her boss?
This was during the conflict. I think this was during the conflict inside the control room.
Okay.
And they thought that the Cylon, the original Cylon that went in, was already dead. And then a commotion happened, gun fell, and they were thinking, oh, she's gonna point the gun at the Cylon to finally kill it. And then she turns around and points at. But this is it's like a subconscious thing, It's so deeply ingrained in their brain, they're not aware until the incident happens.
What makes them be awake though? Because with Westworld, you have a lot of they have questions.
Right.
Suddenly the machine starts connecting things now I get it. I'm not a human. But what about with
Sharon,
with the Cylons, is there a sound that triggers them?
No, it's like their destiny. They're triggered to it's just triggered to happen at that moment,
so creepy,
because that's your calling. You're designed for that moment to happen.
So she's aware that she's a Cylon.
She became aware after she shot the gun. Because even during the act when she was turning to Commander Adama to shoot him, she wasn't aware that she was doing it until she shot the gun.
Oh my goodness. And then
when Commander Adama fell, she
was awake,
wakes up from the trance, and then realizes that she did that, and then she becomes confused. What did I just do? And then it all comes back to her that she's a Cylon. Not at once. It's a process that comes back to her that she's a Cylon.
And she just gets out of the ship.
So here's the thing. There are multiple copies of them. So even
Oh
if you
my
kill,
goodness. Ugh.
so she gets killed and then she comes back because there are I forget what the ships are called, but resurrection ships. There are
Oh my
resurrection
goodness, I
ships.
can imagine.
So there are multiple copies of the
Her.
Cylons.
Oh, not her. Not...
Very specific Cylon. So there's the blonde Cylon, Cylon number 6, the Sharon Cylon.
Oh my
Many. There's so
goodness.
many of them.
So even if this particular one who killed the captain, there's another, they could just create her.
She's gonna come back because the resurrection ship is still there.
But the memories are not the same.
It's the same. Like,
You're
'cause
joking.
there's always a download. The download continuously happens.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there's a recreation. So kind
Hashtag
of
torrent.
streaming.
Now I'm scared. Now technology suddenly I want to go to the mountains. I'm just kidding.
They have chips in their heads that connects with the resurrection ship.
What?
So they're in constant communication with the resurrection ship.
This is creepy. But at the same time, it just shows that what if, right?
Right. If we start implanting chips.
But unfortunately, she doesn't have a consciousness that she's wrong because she feels that she's right.
Yes. And
'Cause obviously
remember
she's
our
silent.
discussion earlier
Yeah.
was they're both coming from I'm right, you're
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I asked this of you from I'm sorry, I mentioned this to you off air, but I'm curious. What do you think will be the future of Battlestar Galactica? What do you wish would happen?
I wish. So based on what I know so far, Battlestar Galactica is like the prequel of the human race, basically. The story is they land. I'm giving a bit of a context to my answer because it's important
Right.
that we know that the story is this is how the world started. Basically, that's the story. But they land on Earth, and the human race that they arrive to is not in the same level of intelligence as they are because they
Ouch.
already have basically and the people
It hurts.
I know the people that they meet on Earth are primitive. They're not using any of the
Right.
technologies that they're using. They haven't created AI and all of that.
Oh no, okay.
So somewhere at the ending of season 4, we'll be shown Baltar and the other Cylon girl walking in the streets of New York, and nobody notices them. The future that I want to be able to see is how are the Cylons coexisting with the humans, and what if they try again to pull a let's annihilate because that's the failed plan. And if we follow the story or if we follow the principle of the older Cylons that they were saying, we have to kill the infidels or the people who are not following the monotheistic religion. If they go back to that, and there's a polytheism, there are other religions, right? What's that gonna look like today? And maybe the AI is actually the Cylons, right? It's like the rise of the Cylons.
So guys, no more Siri, no more Alexa.
This is like Black Mirror and Black Mirror and Battlestar Galactica in one. Yes, Gail said Baltar and number 6. Yeah, number 6 is the blonde Cylon girl who is the girlfriend of Baltar.
Should I be proud and congratulate them for their never-ending journey? No, just kidding. Romance that's just over and over and over.
And actually, we don't know if they're alive in that scene where they're shown that they're walking down the streets of New York, because supposedly they're ascended creatures, like they're angels. But that's not sure because you don't know, is this sci-fi or is this a religious series? I don't know. I'm not sure anymore. And I just always go back to what Thor said, that magic is science unexplained.
Good point. Yeah. So what if? Okay, now I'm curious. You're the person on Earth.
Right. I'm the prehistoric, primitive.
I'm sorry. Tayo pala yun.
We're the primitive, We're the primitive human life forms.
Would you, if you will be asked to be a Cylon, would you say yes?
I think I wouldn't know if I'm a Cylon, right?
No,
I'm a
but
sleeper.
what if, for example, you're human, right? And then
Right.
they offer, because it's all about having that God, you're right? That
Right.
Whether a one God, one true God,
if you'll be
God,
converted.
or multiple gods like the Greek gods or whatever. So that's a lot of gods.
Right.
Now, or the Egyptian mythology or whatever. But I'm curious, what if so let's say they will not kill, but they will not kill, they will kill still, but if you say, I can be a member, or I will
Right.
believe you're God, then maybe they'll give some pardon or something, and will let you either be a Cylon or be a member, like some accepted member or something. Will you say yes?
You know what makes me curious is the process of the recreation. Because they never die, right?
Okay.
Something happens, they get shot, and then the next day they have a body again, and the stream of consciousness goes back to that body, and it's like the accident never happened.
Baymax.
Yeah, Baymax, but with a glorified body. Not this one, but my 19-year-old body. If that's possible, I might say yes.
Oh my gosh. You might say yes.
I might say yes. If that's possible, like I lose this body and I get my 19-year-old body that's
the
just
active, the high energy.
yeah, swimming every day.
Yeah,
I don't care what I eat.
That's true.
But wise, say, with the wisdom that I have now. Body of a 19 years old, but wisdom of the 29-year-old.
Yeah. Good point. So you would say yes. Okay. Now, of all the characters, right? We're talking about favorites and whatnot.
Yes.
I wish you would not die. But what is this of all the antagonists that you've encountered? Who's the one that you really like? Yeah, you don't like him, but yes,
He's necessary.
he is a necessary evil.
Baltar.
For real.
Yes, Baltar, the Gaius Baltar is the necessary evil of this show, because none of this would have ever happened if he didn't have a relationship with number 6. The
Bayan,
Cylon.
love life.
I know, it ruins everything. it actually can annihilate an entire human race.
So guys, I'm so evil. Okay. So
But
he's,
I love him. I love
Okay.
he triggers a lot of the conversations and the debates in the story. Like, he's the scientific part of the conversation. He's the one that's against the religion, the one that Laura Roslin is talking about. He's the one like, let's not go for that anymore. Let's just settle in the Kobol instead of going to the Earth. He became the puppet president while they were in Kobol. And all of the conflicts that arose, most of it, not all, is because of him. That's why he's the necessary evil, but he also offers a perspective like, yeah, he's right.
he has a point.
Yeah.
So, even if, for example, I'm curious actually. Why did he betray? Was it just because of the religion part, or is it because he's a scientist? You're
Right.
saying? Are you saying that humanity should be as advanced, or is this a religious decision why he decided to betray his tribe or something?
He was not aware that this was gonna happen, that it's because of him, or it's because of his relationship with number 6. He gets salvaged from the nuclear explosion on Earth because number 6 saved him. So he didn't know. He didn't know that he was going to be an instrument with all of this. That's why in some part of the show, or in some part of the series, one of the Cylons tell him, it's your fault. The reason why the human race is about to be extinct is because of you. And he's like, F word, frack. That's their word. That's their F word. Frack. Oh my God, it's my fault.
Is it really his fault?
It was like a guilt that was put upon him by the Cylons to manipulate him so that he would make up for what's happening. They were guilting him into...
But whose fault is it? It's the silence period.
It's
right?
the Cylons. I mean, it's just that their desire to take over, that they're the humans now, they're the right religion, or they're the right faith. But they were putting a blame on him so that he will submit, that you would feel guilty for what you
Blackmail.
did. Exactly. It's an emotional blackmail. And he genuinely loved, even if he wasn't aware, he genuinely loved number 6, the Cylon.
But that's number 6 love him back.
Yes. It's a real relationship.
Oh my goodness.
At least from what I understand.
This is so, you know what, while we're talking about it, it reminds me of the Crusades, right?
You're right.
That they'd fight for religion.
You're right.
It doesn't matter what crusade we're talking about, whether
You're right.
the religious crusade of the Catholicism or when the Vikings were fighting for their own religion, and the Muslims or the Turks were fighting for the religion. Just they felt they were right.
Right. And it's a judgment.
And it didn't matter that you're killing someone else because they feel like you are gonna stop my religion.
Right.
And
you're
it's
offending my God.
Yeah. And who's correct? Right? So now I'm
Never
curious.
really know until the end of time.
No. Okay. We will stop there. We will not go that far. Yeah. And definitely last message for everybody, for anybody who hasn't seen Battlestar Galactica.
I think if you're looking for it's not an easy watch. It's not gonna be a feel-good show, but if you're looking for something that is not satisfied by Netflix or anything that you're seeing on Netflix right now.
Hence her message, her caption on her social media.
Because nothing comes close to Battlestar Galactica. Any shows, even Westworld, as much as I love it.
No, not really.
No.
It has a bit of it only. Just
Yeah.
a fraction. Like a fraction
But it's not
only.
the
Yeah,
same.
it's not
Like
the same.
the moral issues it
No, it's different.
discusses. Even The Walking Dead,
Still different.
It's so different.
It's a different kind of survival.
they're both post-apocalyptic, but it's just the level of the discussion it goes through.
Yes.
But even if you're not into that, you'll find yourself entertained by Battlestar Galactica. I mean, you don't need to be a nerd to enjoy it. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a geek.
And then you became one.
And then I became one. Yeah, that's like, this is the closet nerd coming out.
Yeah.
And memorizing everything and everyone's names.
And suddenly like, no, wrong name.
Yeah. Like unintentionally just blurting out, how come I know that name?
Yes.
But it's just the storytelling is impeccable. The music by Bear McCreary is amazing.
Fantastic.
Even the quality of the visuals that they used, the CGI, it was so advanced for its time. Even for today, if you watch it today, you don't feel like it's out of its time.
Right.
It feels so updated. So if you're looking for something that Netflix is not solving for you, Battlestar Galactica, I guarantee 100%. I bet my... I don't know what to bet, but I bet something. I bet
She
my...
bets on her DVD collection.
Yes, which is like three DVDs.
Are you gonna buy merch if you, let's say, go to Comic-Con or something?
Definitely.
Really?
I would love for... But the thing is, there's not enough fan base here, but I would love for them to
How
come
about
here.
SDCC? Or if you go to SDCC, are you gonna
If
buy?
I can afford it, I want to go there. I want to meet Mary McDonough. I want to meet President Roslyn and say with her, so say we all.
Yes, there it is. Okay, like anything you'd like to promote, your social media, your blog, your whatever.
So the planner season is coming up. It's 2020 in 4 months or 5 months. Oh my gosh. And if you're looking to make things happen in your life or get things done, I would recommend that you check out not just the Belle de Jour Power Planner, but the whole planner system that we have. Check out our Facebook account, Belle de Jour Power Planner. It's BDJ Buzz on Instagram and BDJ Buzz on Twitter. We're not just about planner. We're a community of women. That's why there are Bellas here who are tuning in with us.
Yes.
I discussed this topic inside the Bella tribe when you guys invited me, and these are not just they're not just, what do you call it? They're not just audience. These are people that participate and are confidently vulnerable. If you want to be part of a community that's willing to explore your possibilities with you, please join us. We also have a Facebook group, the Bella Tribe.
Yes.
And we're like growing. We're 3,000. We're getting to 3,000 this month.
Because you make magic happen.
Yes. And the new planner is coming up really soon. So just stay tuned on our social media accounts.
Yes,
Thank you for inviting me.
Your blog.
I have it's old. Like
No, it's not. It's No Holds Barred.
it's
At Live Blogs, actually. It's at
Yes.
Live Blogs.
I will update it very soon, but I'm writing topics definitely on confident vulnerability.
Yes.
I admire Tita Brené Brown so much. I want to translate her writings to local and more tangible application in the Philippines.
All right, there you go. Just look for her on social media at Live Blogs and the Bellas.
The
Yes,
Bella Tribe.
The Bella Tribe. And you can message her for questions related to both Battlestar Galactica and
Yes.
Bella. Yay!
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
had
so
fun.
much.
I had
had fun too. Again, guys, if you'd like to know all the songs or the tracks I played this morning, you could just check my page, Marty Tengco, both Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll be posting all the tracks I played for this episode of Battlestar Galactica. And of course, if you'd like any fandoms or geek stuff or any topics that you'd like me to talk about, please message the creator of my show, Miss Kooky Tuason, who has a show here every Tuesday's morning. No, midnight, sorry. Tuesdays midnight to 2 a.m. It's called Big Gus Pilipinas, and it's all about poetry, spoken word, anything that has to do with the word. Message her if you'd like any fandoms or geek stuff you'd like me to talk about. And next week, our topic will be Firefly. I know it's sad because they only had season 1, but it's an amazing show. And we'll be talking about that next week. And I'll be leaving you with just, I think it's a farewell song for me. It sounded like one. Wonder My Friends by Lilis O'Leary. And of course, composed by Bear McCreary. And this was also for season 1, Battlestar Galactica. Yes. Thank you so much, Lai.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in wherever you are. Stay safe. And see you again next week. Bye.
Minutes of pop fiction. Venture into a world of fantasy, animation, gaming, mythical language, graphic novels, robotics, and sci-fi. Tune in to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction with Marty Tengco. Wednesdays at midnight on your new music alternative. Jam 88.3.
Your weeknight dose of spoken word on primetime radio. Because Pilipinas.
As life creates beats through hands and feet gestures.
If your sister asks me about you,
Because Pilipinas. Hosted by Kooky Tuason. Tuesdays, 12 midnight.
shut yourself